There is a divine key many believers overlook in their battle against financial bondage. It's not buried in a vault, locked behind a church door, or reserved for the elite. It is written in the Psalms. And when spoken in faith, consistently and boldly, it activates heaven's economy over your life. Financial chains are not just earthly limitations. They are often spiritual assignments designed to keep you in survival mode instead of kingdom abundance. But today, we expose that assignment and unlock heaven's strategy for deliverance. The psalm we will focus on is Psalm 23, not as poetry, not as tradition, but as a declaration of divine provision and freedom. When spoken with conviction, Psalm 23 becomes a spiritual sword that severs the grip of poverty and awakens divine abundance. Let's break this down in 8 life-changing revelations. When Psalm 23:1 says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," it reorders our thinking. Too many trust their jobs more than Jehovah. Your employer is not your source, it's just a resource. God is your provider, your well that never runs dry. Example, during the 2008 recession, a single mother in Texas was laid off. With no savings, she began declaring Psalm 23 daily. She stopped seeing herself as a victim and started trusting the shepherd. Within 3 weeks, she received 2 unexpected job offers, one with double her previous salary. Truth, want leaves your life when God becomes your source. When he leads, lack flees. This verse reveals a deep truth. God provides not just for survival, but for rest. Green pastures are symbols of nourishment, peace, and overflow. Financial anxiety often stems from our hustle-driven culture, but God leads us to provision that doesn't come from stress, but from rest in him. Story: a businessman shared how, after burning out chasing deals, he began each day meditating on Psalm 23. He slowed down, trusted more, and miraculously began receiving more clients without chasing them. Resting in God repositioned him for divine results. Truth: financial freedom starts in the soul. If your heart is striving, your finances will be surviving. Still waters represent clarity. Financial confusion breeds financial captivity. When God leads you beside still waters, he quiets the noise, the debt pressure, and the self-doubt, so you can hear divine instruction. Example: a young woman in Nigeria, burdened with student loans, began praying Psalm 23 over her finances. God gave her clarity to launch a simple digital business. Within 6 months, her income paid off half her loans. God's peace led her to wisdom. Truth: clarity is a currency. You can't multiply what you don't understand. Many financial struggles come from internal wounds, growing up in lack, guilt about wealth, or fear of success. When Psalm 23 says, "He restores my soul," it reveals God's desire to heal not just your bank account, but your relationship with money. Story: a man grew up hearing money is evil. He self-sabotaged every financial opportunity. Declaring Psalm 23 daily, he invited God to rewire his mindset. Slowly, doors opened, and for the first time, he accepted abundance without guilt. Truth: God doesn't just want you wealthy, he wants you whole. You don't need 100 options. You need one divine direction. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. God will direct your steps to the right investments, the right partnerships, and the right timing. Example: a woman in India prayed over Psalm 23, seeking business direction. One night she dreamed of planting herbs. Months later, her organic tea business went global. God led her on a path that glorified his name. Truth: righteousness leads to riches when God is the one guiding you. Financial valleys are not permanent, they're passageways. Psalm 23 says, "Though I walk through the valley, I will fear no evil." God doesn't abandon you in crisis. He walks through it with you. Day to point. During COVID-19, thousands started quoting Psalm 23. Many who lost jobs ended up starting businesses they had dreamed about for years. Crisis became the cradle of new financial destiny. Truth, don't fear valleys. God builds tables in them. God doesn't just bless you privately. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Public provision is a kingdom principle. Those who mocked you in lack will witness your breakthrough. Real life, a formerly homeless man in Chicago began reciting Psalm 23 at a shelter. He later landed a construction job, started his own company, and now builds homes for others. His enemies didn't just watch. Some now work for him. Truth, God's table isn't just survival. It's a feast that demands testimony. The closing of Psalm 23 is a seal. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. That's not a hope, that's a promise. When you speak this psalm daily, you call goodness into your now and mercy into your past. Reflection, speak this psalm not as poetry, but as prophecy. Say it when the bills stack high. Say it when doors seem shut. Say it until heaven invades your reality. Truth, financial freedom isn't just about what's in your hand, but what flows from your mouth. If you speak this psalm daily, not as ritual, but as revelation, chains will begin to break. You'll notice ideas unlocking, favor increasing, opportunities showing up that weren't there before. Heaven responds to faith-filled speech. So declare Psalm 23 like your life depends on it, because your freedom might. Say it, believe it, live it. God is your shepherd. Lack is illegal. Chains are breaking.